Hello and welcome back, Realty Pros. Thank you so much for joining us for another evening's mastermind. We had a great Realty talk this afternoon, and it was a collaborative effort by the leadership team. And we were speaking about meeting people where they are. This is well, it's always prospecting season. However, we want to put forth a big push in this season with our prospecting efforts. And so we have today, this evening rather, with us, none other than Mr. Marcus King. He has so graciously agreed to present to us this evening. And so thank you all for joining us. And thank you, Marcus, for taking the time out to share with us this evening.
All right, no problem. Okay. So you want me to start now? Or
You're good.
okay. So hello everyone. Tonight Realty Talks, we're going to be talking about meeting meeting prospects where they are. Pretty much I have a couple bullet points to go over that topic. Uh, Pretty much the first thing I would start when I was saying you want to meet somebody exactly where they are, I would say you have to know kind of a little bit about them, exactly what's going on with the situation. So the first thing that I always try to do if I'm having a either a discussion or I'm having a buyer's consultation or I'm just talking to a prospect, I kind of want to do a discovery to figure out exactly uh, why exactly they may need my services or might need your services. Uh, are they like are they looking for any type of real estate help? What type of problems do they have when they think about real estate? So pretty much with that discovery, it's just a quick conversation to figure out exactly a little bit about each person. So in those first in that first I would say minute of talking, is a couple things you can kind of hit on. Uh, Anything's between like the likes that they may, some of their likes or some of the needs they may have, or a question to try to discover more about their situation. When you want to meet somebody where they are, I'm gonna jump around here a lot of these bullet points. I'm gonna talk about them kind of like simultaneously. But you always want to have empathy for that person. Just because people are not always in the same mindset that you are. So sometimes you may have to do a discovery. You might realize their mindset might not even be in real estate. They might not have thought about even having a house, or they might have thought about even uh, it was even possible for them to have a house. So you can find that if you find their mindset may not be that they may want to get a house or anything like that. You could, either spark their interest into saying, it is possible for you, which that's kind of already solving a problem. And most people have some, not saying like a problem like it's something wrong with them or something like that, but all of us are dealing with some type of problem that we may not even know that we have, that when in a little discovery or a little conversation, somebody might be like, oh, you know what? I never thought that I could get a pre-approval and that's all I need to get a house. Or I never thought that uh, I could live in this area and the houses are maybe a little bit more in my price range. Or I never thought that I didn't have to buy my dream home first. I could just get the house that, fit my needs for right now. uh, a lot of these conversations I had in the real estate conversations, and you can do that with the discovery. Uh, Also, in that discovery conversation, you want to provide your help, or either you want to, ask a question that will, give that will probably give you that will help them give you, more of their problem, because they're not going to just say, "Hey, here's my problem." You kind of have to decipher from the discovery exactly what that problem is or what that issue is, or they might not even think they are able to do certain things. Oops. Back. Okay. So when you're doing that discovery, you're just learning little tidbits about them to figure out exactly how you can build their trust, how you're actually going to educate them, or you can educate them and they may want to learn more, which also helps build trust. And then also you want to find out exactly, if you know if you're having a conversation exactly about real estate, or you're trying to get someone to come to like a buyer's expo or something like that, say, hey, have you ever thought about real estate? What are some things that you heard negative about real estate? So then they'll give you all their problems, maybe that they've heard about real estate that you have multiple talking points about. Because a lot of people, I heard some people say, "Oh, real estate's." I heard this one person that actually is uh, a multifamily manager, and she was told me, she was like, uh, "I feel like real estate right now is a scam. It's just people keep telling people on TikTok to keep buying houses." And I was like, "That's your mindset." Like, I didn't say that to her, but I was like, "That's your mindset." Like, and that just that little part of like what have you heard bad about real estate? She told me that her only influence was someone off of TikTok that she may have just heard people get say you had to buy a house. And then I started telling her about the benefits of buying a house. She was like, oh. And then we were actually in an Uber, and the Uber driver started he didn't turn around, but he was like, yeah, everything that I was saying, like real estate helps you with tax shelter. You get equity in the home. You pay 100% interest on wherever you're renting, and like really changing her mindset in a 15-minute Uber ride. So those type of questions can help you build trust, and also if you're educating someone, they start to build trust with you too, because you're giving them information that they may not have known. Another thing is someone may be telling you about a tough situation. They're be saying, well, my grandmother had a house and they lost it to foreclosure, and she was really down. She had to move to all these different places. So I just never thought about having a house. I never want to go through a foreclosure process. Well, I like to, in that situation, you can use something called feel, felt, found. Like, I feel you. People do sometimes sometimes lose their houses, maybe because they didn't have the right information, or sometimes they fall down on their luck. But what I felt, when you say I feel you, and that's like, well, but what I feel like what happens is uh, when people, get foreclosure on their house, they may could have looked at other options they could have used, and they're gonna say, but what I found is that if you pay a couple extra payments, or if you try to split up your payments, that people don't even know that they can split their payments on their mortgage. They don't know that they can use some of the tax savings to, make an extra payment, or you can just give them a lot. You can say, I found this, I feel you for exactly, foreclosure is a bad thing. And I've also felt that same way when I've seen people going through foreclosure. But now you're having that conversation and saying, I found that, ways that people cannot go through foreclosure, or ways that you can, help before you get through going through foreclosure, or some things that people that might not think about, like getting a roommate and stuff like that, to go through their situation. It's more of a way to make them feel more intimate with their situation. If I mean, you can role play this with someone too. You can say, hey, well, I feel you from that. And I've also, felt this because this has happened before. And then you usually want to end with you finding some type of solution to what their problem was. And it's a great way to provide a solution in a way it doesn't feel like you're being salesy. Uh, Also, you want to adapt to communication styles. So if you see someone that's, really chipper and they have a great attitude, you need to be very chipper too, because your attitude can almost bring down their attitude. You could be talking to them, you could be talking to them like very monotone, and they would like be like, they're a really upbeat person. So you talking to them monotone is gonna kind of throw them off, and they may not even hear nothing you're saying. Or you could be talking to someone that may be very introverted, and they don't like you being like really like excited and stuff like that. I'm not saying change who you are, but I'm saying mirror their I call it mirror plus one, where basically what you're doing is mirroring their communication style. So when you kind of mirror their communication style, it kind of puts a kind of a it gets you more familiar with the person, and also it helps you with helps you they kind of feel like you're kind of in the same place. So that's really what this whole meeting is about, is meeting people where they are. So when you do that mirror plus one, and you're using the same type of communication style, it helps them, build more trust with you, and you can still talk about the certain subjects. You can be as educated or not educated. You can be educated, but I'm saying you can be as witty as you want. You can give them as much facts as you want in a hyper tone, or it can be in a lower tone. But usually people, and when they feel like you're in that same type of energy as them, they tend to talk to you a little bit longer, or understand, or feel like they can feel who you are and stuff like that out, especially in a quick conversation. And then also you want to be active listening. Most people like to talk about their work. Most people are going to talk about their work or something like that. So if you can get someone to talk about their job, you can easily get that conversation to go towards, uh, you know, how are you, how are you with, any real estate? Like, have you used your job to maybe invest in any real estate, or have you been thinking about maybe selling your house, or maybe have you thought about taking a job in DC? Is the commute hard, stuff like that? So as you can kind of flip that conversation and meeting them where they are. But you want to be active listening. And also another thing is, when I say active listening, when they give you that name, you want to be able to say that name back to them, because that builds a lot of trust in the conversation too. Someone that hears their name, like, your name is usually the sweetest thing that you're ever going to hear. So someone saying your name back to them while you're having a conversation, it makes them feel more comfortable with you too. Uh, so uh, when you're saying someone's name, like Anita, like if I said, uh, hey Anita, what have you heard bad? What's some things you heard bad about real estate? And she tells me something, something, something. And I was like, Anita, I actually heard that too. And I feel that those things can happen in real estate, but I also felt that if you're educated enough in real estate, you can get over any hurdle that may come around. But also, what I found is people that I've educated, and buyers consultation, and also the brokerage that I work with, we have been able to educate multiple people on, change their mindset on buying a house. And like, how does, like, have you ever thought about anything like that, Anita? And just keep using their name makes them feel a little bit more comfortable with you too. Uh, I don't want to go past I have 15 minutes. Or I have longer.
No, you can keep going.
Okay, because I put on this for like 15 minutes, but it's cool. Uh, does anybody want to do a active role play of meeting someone where they are?
I think that's a great idea. We can do that.
And in this role play, I would want you to use the feel, felt, found uh example.
Well, you want me to just do it?
Yeah.
Can, are you,
Well, I'll
are you
I'll
going to
do
give me a scenario?
uh yeah. Angela, can you give Anita a scenario?
Sure.
Thank you.
Um,
Can, can,
something, well, there, but if it's someone who wants to move, but they don't know, they don't feel like they can afford something, so they're hesitant about that. Is that something we can do?
okay.
Or
So,
just process, we will process.
right.
But I would like to hear you guys do this. They want to sell, but they're nervous about not being able to find it.
Okay, so they're in a house. So Angela is saying they're in a house. Maybe they want to upgrade, they want to buy. But they're nervous about being able to find the house
Yeah, inventory.
with the inventory.
Service.
Right, okay, with the inventory and with the interest rates. Okay. So this is a person who wants to purchase, they actually own a home. They want to sell their home, purchase
You
another.
it's okay. You don't have to tell me. You can just if you want to act like that person and I'll act like I just met you.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to
I'll get it for
remember
you.
it in my head. Okay. I'm trying to get it together in my own head. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So I am the solution, right? I'm coming with the solution with the feel felt found, correct?
Uh, well, I can do it first, or if you
I
want
got it.
me,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
or you want me to come to you with that problem.
No,
I can.
no, 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 no. I want to come to you. I want to.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Hello, Mr. King. Oh my goodness.
How are
I tell you, the
you?
market is rough out here, isn't it?
You think so?
It is. Wow, I mean, my husband and I, we've been in this house for a while now, and we can sell it, but I mean, we can't afford to upgrade. We just knew by now that we would be able to upgrade, and then the interest rates are just out of I mean, they are just too high. I'm gonna have to just wait until interest rates go. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Anita, I feel you. I know you're hearing all this news about the market because I hear it too all the time, but a lot of the news that we sometimes hear is not always as true for each person because I would say each person's uh each person's each person's like situation in real estate is dynamic. Like you say, you've been in your house for a long time. A lot of people may not have been in a house for that long, or they may not even have a house. So like your situation is very dynamic. I feel that people that usually have a house for a long time usually build a lot of equity. And so I feel that you probably have a lot of equity built up in your house. Is that correct?
Well, yes, we do. We have a lot of equity in our home. However, we just can't even, I don't think that we'll be able to, once we sell this house, I don't think we'll still have enough because I really wanted this last move to be my dream home, and I don't think we'll have enough to put down on a new home,
I feel you.
especially with the interest rates.
You're thinking about retirement and things like that, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I definitely feel you, but I also feel that if you're thinking about moving in this house, it's only going to get this. Well, usually what I find is that people that are thinking about moving, that inkling only gets stronger as the years go on. So yes, we can't just do a magic wand and have the interest rates go to a certain amount, but uh, you plan for this house to be your last house, right?
Yes.
So what I find with people that are looking for a house to be their last house, uh, you will see that if you're planning on this house being your last house, the interest rates are going to fluctuate at, you know, multiple times. And if you're thinking about, retiring and downsizing, is your house big right now? It's like really big, or you looking to get like like a Rambler style, or it has a lot of steps? And
Yes, that would
what are some
that
of the
would be
reasons?
really great.
What are some of the
Well,
reasons?
really, yes. So I wanted to I need to have at least a first floor owner suite because I know that my husband is getting old and his knees aren't as strong as they used to be. I'm good, but
You good? I don't want your husband getting old now. You gotta tell him slow down.
but yeah, so we need that. And then you know what? He insists that he must do the yard himself, and we need a smaller. we don't want as much of a yard to have. I don't want him to have as much of a yard to have to maintain.
And the yard is pretty big right now, correct?
Yes, that's my two biggest things.
Okay. Okay. And you guys are, and your other, I would say, the thing that I feel like you said that most people are worried about uh the actual pricing of the homes.
Right.
Okay. If usually what I find is people don't are only looking at, usually one area, or they're looking at this, have this magic house in their head, but they're not looking at the whole playing field. So usually what I found is that usually when you can show a a customer or someone exactly all their options, it doesn't feel like it's so much of a hassle when you're coming to come find a house. So the biggest thing you're saying that you want to find a house that's going to fit your needs for the next 10 years and not the past 10 years. And I feel like that happens with a lot of sellers. But right now, if you're feeling this way about selling your house, uh, I've found with other clients that it only gets stronger. So what if I could help you find some ways, and I can set up a meeting with you to go over some of those ways to actively sell your house in this market. Also find a solution for you and your husband not to have so much, and so you guys won't pretty much have all that yard and going up all those steps, because I know you're fine, but we don't want him going up all those steps either. So is it possible that we can maybe have another conversation, or is it possible that we can set up probably a meeting where you and your husband, where we can talk about all your problems? We got to find, because when we put all of our educated heads together, that we can find a solution that will pretty much help you guys sell your house, and also be able to use that equity to pretty much have a down either have a sizable down payment, plus be able to put knock that monthly mortgage down that you're going to be paying to a rate that's probably not to a rate, but to a amount that you're probably going to be more than happy with. If you don't mind me asking, how much are you currently paying on your mortgage right now?
Oh, well, we actually have had our home for a good while now, and we're only paying. I want what I want, and and I want what I want, and I only want to. I don't want to pay more than $3,000 a month for a mortgage payment.
Great. That sounds like a great budget. Uh, I've found that people that have that type of budget for a month, you usually can find a house that will fit all their needs, especially when they have, a sizable down payment. That also, I have a lender that I found a lot of my clients going to him, and not knowing exactly what they could get approved for. So if you like what you like, let's see what you can get approved for, and figure out exactly, if or exactly how much equity you have in your house, to see if we can find a house that's in that price range that equity may be able to pay for it. But it all starts with having that conversation. Oh wow. Let me get my charger real quick. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Good job, Marcus.
Yes. Yes. So now I'll tell you, while you're getting your charger, Marcus, what one thing that impressed that resonated with me when you were talking is your needs in the past year, 10 years, are not going to be your needs for the next 10 years. That, for some reason, and I guess that's about, making a connection, and listening to a person. And yeah, because that was like a realization for me. Okay, so I appreciated that part of it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let me get
That
my
was a
charger.
good.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I thought you were getting the charge.
Staying to
Yeah.
listen to.
Okay. So okay. Okay, thank you, Marcus. So someone else has a question or something to add?
Marcus, I wanted to say that, mute that for me, please. I wanted to say that I was impressed by the way that you handled that too, especially because you found out exactly what her goals were right up front. So you didn't make it salesy as if you wanted her to be on your agenda, but you found out what her objections were. You found out what her goals were. So needing to get rid of the steps and the yard and all that good stuff. And you use that in your call. And then just like Anita said, you said something to the effect of your needs for the last 10 years aren't going to be your needs for the next 10 years. And I like the way that you strategically used the feel, felt, found, and you provided her with solutions to all of her concerns. You truly used the model, the features, advantages, and benefits, and providing a solution so that everything that she came in with as an objection, you've resolved those now. You did a great job. Just wanted to
Yeah,
say that.
I love trying to get everyone's like I want to hear everything right now. I mean, sometimes you can't get it like that, and sometimes people be kind of they're not going to open up to you like that. But if you can just get one thing, just I feel like just kind of just keep harping on that one thing, because they're going to give you something. They're going to get, especially when you say, "What have you heard bad about real estate?" Somebody has something to say. Oh, I think.
Oh, I'll say one thing.
Okay.
This is Angela.
Hey, Angela.
One thing about that little scenario that I liked was that despite the objections that she had, that you went for the appointment and you looked at that as an opportunity to share more with her and give her a better understanding of, what her options are. So I love it that you went for the appointment.
Okay. Oh, is someone else talking right now?
No, thank you,
Okay.
Marcus.
Okay. I didn't know I was. Let me put this back so I can only see the person that's talking. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So, no, no more questions, but thank you. Thank you again, for sharing with us this evening. So that's another approach, to meeting people where they are. That was a great example, actually, and that was a great, role play. So you said you're going to get me what I want because I want what I want. So, so thank you again. Thank
No
you.
problem.
Yes.
Do you need me to stop
So,
sharing the screen or do you how do you want me to do it?
well, you know what? Can you continue sharing your screen and just if you go to can we do the video clip?
Mhm.
Yeah. Can you go down to the last with Anastasia and Angela? That's her name. Yeah.
Uh, Let me
Oh,
see.
you're going okay, so you can stop sharing because then I got well, hold on. Go ahead. Did you
Did you
refresh
get
it?
anything? Request access? Let me see. Did you get something?
No. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. So you want me to stop sharing?
Yeah, just stop sharing and then I will share mine.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Because this is a video that I wanted to share earlier today and we ran out of time, but when we are talking about meeting people where they are, I really love this. This is the wrong screen. I shouldn't be sharing that. Good thing
We
she
didn't see
gets
it.
good grades. Yeah, well, she gets good grades, so I guess that's good. Um, but when we were talking about meeting people where they are, and everyone did such a great job this afternoon, sharing just different ways to go out and meet people, to engage. I mean, even there are people that you perhaps know. We don't want to skip those people either, because those are, what in Ms. Porter call those, that's your low hanging fruit. So, make sure that you are, and Angela had mentioned it, doing like a Wellness Wednesday, checking in with those people. But then also, you're only going to get so much business from there. So you have to take, look in other directions as well. And we do a great job providing opportunities for you to look in other areas. And the way that we do that is through our expos and through our open houses, because that gives you opportunities. When you are actually, you always want to go out looking for opportunities. But this, when we're talking about the expos and we're talking about open houses, this is material. This is like a jump off point for you, so that you don't have to maybe feel uncomfortable about trying to come up with the conversation. You already have the conversation, and so you're able to share it. But this is the video that I wanted to share with you all, that Anastasia and Angela. I don't know why I keep, I don't know what that's about. I know that's the problem.
Did you tell me? Yeah, we're out here with the book. Letting folks know about Porterhouse, and know what services we provide, and that's about it for today. Until next time, you guys.
Yeah, I loved that. I did. I loved that video. I mean, they were out there maybe a little bit longer than they should have been, but thank God, he brought them on safely. So they didn't have to worry about that. But yeah, so Mrs. Porter, we want to give you opportunity to share.
Again, I just say kudos to you, Marcus. The way that you shared, it really captured the sentiment that we wanted to convey today, which was meeting people where they are. All too often, we can try to be salesy and kind of quickly bring people to we are without empathizing and finding out what those objections are, finding out what's causing them to think that, it's not, I shouldn't buy a house in the first place. Just like you said, having one simple conversation with somebody, you found out that her mindset was that buying a house was a scam. And from our perspective, who would ever think
Yeah.
that someone encouraging you to be a homeowner and to aspire to and obtain the American dream could be a scam, right? That's what people come from far and wide to be able to do, to have exactly those things. But had you not taken the opportunity to have that conversation with her, you would have never known. So you would have just been trying to sell her on buying a house, and she would have been looking at you like, okay, you're trying to scam me too. So just the mere fact that you were personable enough, like you said, you were matching her, I like how you said mirror plus one. I thought that was cool. That's the first time that I've heard that. But you were being intentional to make sure that she was comfortable with you and not off-putting. So those, I think, are very, very, very important concepts, if you will. Like we talked about earlier today, we talked about strategies and where to meet people and how to meet people. But you talked today about very kind of empathetic, human ways to approach people, because there are various locations that we can meet people in, but knowing how to handle people on a human level is what you help to bring to light in terms of the meeting people where they are. So I just say hats off to you for that. My hope is that all of us will consider those things, being not only empathetic with people, but being real, being, conversational, asking those questions. Hey, what are your thoughts? What are your objections? Are you a homeowner? No. If not, why? Tell me what your thoughts are about home ownership. Are you looking to sell? No. Tell me what your thoughts are about selling in this market. Because you and I both know there are people that do it every single day. There are people who are successful in each one of those arenas every single day. So the difference between people who do and people who don't is oftentimes a mindset. And then sometimes it's information. And as we know, it's our role to filter through a lot of misinformation, because we appreciate social media, we appreciate television, media, and every type of media outlet. And it's a good source of information, but as good a source of information as it is also a reservoir for misinformation. So with that being said, that's our role as real estate professionals, helping to kind of do some of that damage control when we have people who are absorbing all of this information from on television and they're nervous about the interest rates. But to bring one of those things to light, we know historically that properties do what over time? They appreciate in value over time. So if you have somebody that's concerned with getting in the market now, well, how much is the property going to be worth? How much are you going to have to pay for it? Or how much property will you be able to afford when the prices continue to go up, right? And we've seen interest rates fluctuate, but if you consider it on a curve just from the last 7 years alone, what have they done? They've gone up. They've gone way up, right? Not high, because we're just getting to a point where we're reaching historic norms. 7.7%, well, 7.76% is the historic average interest rate in the United States over the last 30 years. So we're just getting back to that place of balance, right? A lot of people think, oh, well, this is not a good market to buy. And you hear so much misinformation. I appreciate one of the lessons that I learned very early on. Verify, verify, verify. Even if you see something posted on TikTok or at this place or that place, and this person is purporting to be an expert, yeah, that's fine and well. You take that information and you go, you check 3 other trusted sources and see if they say the same thing. But we know as real estate professionals, our clients and the people that we know, like, and trust, they're not going to do those things. So that's where we come in as the professionals. That's why we have to provide the reliable information. That's why we have to help them to overcome those fears, uncertainties, and doubts with features, advantages, and benefits. Because you and I both know, for all of us, it is far better to be an owner of your own home than it is to be a renter. And you have a lot of people who don't think so. But that's because they haven't had an opportunity to have a conversation with any of our Realty pros just yet. Because we strategically share those features, advantages, and benefits with them in such a way that they'll look and say, well, I wish I knew that before. And that's one of the reasons why people are so impacted when they come to our home buyer expos. We do this, and we do this for free, those home buyer expos. It is a service. Of course, it is a seed sown. We want for each and every last one of them to come through Porterhouse. But the mere fact that we push to provide that information to our community, not many places do that. Not many places do that at all. And then for people who do, it's not a consistent thing. So providing that information for many people is life-changing, because they think the exact opposite. When you have people that are paying $3,000 a month in rent, but they feel like they can't buy, and their mortgage would be $3,000 a month. You have people that maybe they bring home, $5,000 a month, but if they had a property and they increase their exemptions by 1, they might be able to bring home $6,000 a month, right? Or get a really big, tax check at tax time, right? But these are all of the things that we know, and we have to be passionate to impart to people, because we know the word says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Knowledge is the principal thing. With all I get understanding. So we want to give understanding and knowledge. We want to help people to get understanding, but we want to give knowledge and share wisdom, shed light on some of the things that people think that are just completely just not true at all. So kudos to all of you. We want you guys to take this information as a banner and run with it. And simply having that insight, Marcus, you don't know how impactful that was. You said that somebody thinks that buying a house is a scam. That really puts things in perspective even more so for me, because it says that we have people from one end of the spectrum to the complete polar opposite end of the spectrum.
And she's
It's a
a
difference to
regional
say,
bank.
okay, well, I think that, buying a house is going to be expensive. or I think that the interest rates are high, but I think that buying my own is a scam, that really tells us what we have to deal with and the type of kind of ideologies that we have to help educate and to prune some of those things away. Like you said, providing them with the, feel, felt, found. Well, I feel you, and I wouldn't want that to happen. I know people who felt that way before, but what they found was this. So continue to do what it is that you guys are doing, guys. Take this torch. Be passionate about enlightening people, because we literally change people's lives every single day. When I tell you the masses of people that we've worked with who never thought that they would be homeowners, who never thought that it was possible for them, who simply did not have the information, many of which are first generation homeowners. Parents never owned, rented their whole lives, right? That's the story for many of us. That's the story for many people. That's the story for many people that we're talking to. Some people think, oh, well, why would I want to rent? I mean, why wouldn't I want to rent? I can just call a maintenance man and they'll fix it. I'm going to pay $4,000. I'm living in DC. I live in a nice apartment building. Why would I want to move and pay $4,000 for my own mortgage? These are the mindsets that we're dealing with. So have these conversations, guys. Be open to listen. And one of the things that's so pertinent is for you guys as real estate professionals, continue to sharpen even yourself, right? We know that iron sharpens iron. Continue to look at all the information that you have as resources. Read through your buyer's guides. Even if you can, look through the information that we have in the slides for the Home Buyers Expos. Look at all of your resources, because what you're doing is you're putting more tools in your tool belt, so that when you go out and you have conversations, you never know which direction it's going to go in. But you'll have that level of confidence because okay, well, I'm equipped and I'm prepared. I listen in on trainings. I come and I attend. So I have these things to address any concerns that people may have. So with that, I will turn the floor back over to you guys. If you have any comments, any key takeaways, I go ahead and turn it back over to you. Great job again, and thank you so much, Marcus.
Okay, no more, no one else has anything to share. As Ms. Porter said, thank you again, Marcus. We appreciate that. And we, as a reminder, just wanted to remind you that Angela has posted in the WhatsApp. She's hosting an open house tomorrow afternoon from 4 to 6. And Maggie is hosting an open house Saturday that is posted also in WhatsApp. So jump in. I'm sure either of them would be happy to have you all to join. So if that is all, we're going to go ahead. We'll stop the recording.